Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrahli sadri ve yessirli emri vahlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli vec'alli veziran min ehli Harun ahi üştüd bihi ezri ve eşrikhu fi emri key nusebbihake kesira ve nezkurake kesira inneke kunte bina basira. Allahümme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtena ve zidna ilma ve erinel hakka hakkan verzukna ittiba'a ve erinel batile batilen verzukna ictinabe. Allah ve sallillahümme ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem. Rabbena gfir lana verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Amin. Velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Amin. We have been studying the section Sa'd and we studied up to verse 38, 38 sections Sa'd, 45. So inshallah we will, let me see. Yeah, we will start from here. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. واذكر عبدنا إبراهيم وإسحاق ويعقوب وأولي الألباب والأبصار. So, and remember our servants Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, all are endowed with inner strength and vision. Now, we are not going to study the prophets Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, sorry, they are not important, but they are endowed with inner strength and vision. This is important. The prophets are chosen among the people by God according to his wisdom, although we don't know his wisdom, he decides, but we have to take lesson from it. Which kind of lesson we can take from it? Because when the Qur'an describes, God describes it, yes, our servants, Abdana, our servants like you and me, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The first thing comes to my mind from my perspective, not from God's perspective, from God's wisdom perspective. From my perspective, why are they chosen? And not out of jealousy, but why not me? For example, But he says, the Quran says, but they are all endowed with inner strength and vision. I would say, ah, if I try my best to be ulul, ulul aid and well absurdities, and then do you think I will be really chosen? Let me try. No. That is what we have to understand. And together with the verse 45 and verse 46, together, let's even 47, all the verses we see on in the screen now. Let me read all of them together. And remember our servants Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. So all they are saying the qualities now. They all are endowed with inner strength and vision. 46 says, verily we purified them with a perfect purification. That is interesting. They were not really that much pure, but God purified them. But why does God purify certain people and not me and you, for example? Be careful. I'm not making the comparison and competing with the prophets. Don't misunderstand. But not jealous. I'm trying to understand the wisdom. Not in order to become a prophet, but what was the virtue that they had so that not as a prophet, not to be a candidate for a prophet, but at least that totally depends on God's choice. We all know that. It is clearly stated in Islamic tradition and teaching that one cannot be a prophet by working, striving, struggling, etc. But it is, they are chosen, but still I can get some lesson from it for myself by asking this question, why not me? So they have these qualities, inner strength and vision, but on top of this, God says, He purified them with a perfect, perfect, khalis, pure purification through the remembrance of the life to come. And zikra etar, it means prepare them. Keep always the remembrance of the hereafter, next creation. Even more in verse 47. And in our sight, in our sight, it means according to us, عندنا, not our sight exactly, but عندنا, according to us, as we see them, لمن المصطفين الأخيار. It means they are really, truly among the chosen and the best. Now we have to understand now what does are endowed with inner strength and vision so that they will be chosen, so that after being chosen, they will be purified with a perfect purification, because but the translation says through the remembrance of the life to come. Actually, this is the translation. I mean, we have to choose one way or another, but the translations never make justice to the real meaning of the verse. We have to know. So forget about through, zikra bitar, we can say that, I mean, grammatically, if someone understands the Arabic grammar that much, we can say it is the jumlatul haliyah. So it means as being, as keeping in mind the next creation. It is important. Why? Because it is related to ourselves, you and me. And in our sight, they are truly among the chosen and the best. Well, now, after certain purifications, etc., they are among the chosen Mustafain and al-akhyar, and the best. Okay, let's go back. For example, the Prophet Muhammad, we know much more as compared to other prophets about his life in details. The people around the prophet was so meticulous about keeping every memory of the prophet. So we are somehow given, or we receive a lot of information about the life and the actions of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. He was an illiterate man. Profession-wise, he didn't have any profession. He was a shepherd. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud that my prophet, by profession, as a young guy, he was a shepherd. He was not really, for me, spoiled and soiled with outside culture, understanding of the civilization. He was just as innocent as a baby newly born. He didn't have any education. That is important. We have to know we are polluted with secular education, worldly concerns. Our criteria are polluted under the influence of many things that, although we believe in God, although you all, I don't know about me, but you all pure in your nature, but we have to be careful. Still a lot of pollution we have. We must admit that. If we don't admit, we have to make sure that we are missing some things. Why? We are not aware of our reality. Not that our nature, no, the situation that we are in. All our concerns are mostly shaped by the environment. So what was the inner strength and vision with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam? What was it? What made him a candidate for God to choose him, employ him to the most important mission for human beings? We hear from Sirah narrations, also history narrations, Muslim history, Islamic history narrations. He was an honest man, okay, trustworthy, okay. I'm not saying no. No one blamed him, as far as we hear from the believers, from the loyal people, from the enemy of Islam. He wasn't an honest man. There is no evidence from any sort of sources, historical sources. Okay, fair enough. Do you think the honesty, trustworthiness is enough to be a prophet? Appointed to be a prophet? But he says inner strength. The Qur'an says that these prophets are endowed with inner strength and vision, ulul al-absar. It means really insight. Yeah, I mean, getting into the reality of the things by themselves. But the Prophet Muhammad was an uneducated man. He didn't have any education. What was it? We mentioned this. I mentioned it in these classes almost very frequently. I mean, maybe at least once a year. I asked this question: what do you think that the Prophet was doing in the Ghar Hira cave? What was he doing? In fact, as we hear from the first revelation, we hear that the first revelation was Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq. All of you know it by heart. Read in the name of your Lord who creates. The Prophet Muhammad didn't know how to read and write. We studied this long ago a lot in depth. So I will just really summarize it. What is he going to read? He doesn't know how to read and write. And there's no book in Mecca anyways to read. What is he going to do? In the name of your Lord who creates. He has to read, not the book that as we understand nowadays, but what God creates. Why does he need? In order to be educated person, to become an educated person? No. There must be some concerns that the Prophet was withdrawing into seclusion, into a cave, and staying there for days. What was wrong with this guy? I mean, I'm sorry to use the word guy. Is it not before a prophet? I'm talking about this person now. A man of, but the son of Abdullah. That is, it wasn't the Rasulullah yet. So, the son of Abdullah Muhammad, what was he doing there? I don't know why the people go into seclusion, retire into a cave, and do something there. So the answer to this person says, if you are interested in this matter, then you have to read what I created. It means the creation. We can guess the questions concerned that the Muhammad ibn Abdullah was concerned with. It means what is going on in this world? Full of questions, concerns, not answered at all from his side. He didn't have any answer, but he must have many questions, concerns, wonders. What am I doing here? What is going on here? Yes, they had the idea of God, but who God is? Who are you? For example, the creator. Sometimes I go crazy and said, my creator, you disclosed yourself to me in the form of manifestation. But I want to get to know better. But that's my excitement. But private life, that is human. I don't know whether you experience this kind of feelings. Some people do, I believe do. So I'm guessing the the prophet, before he became a prophet, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, was full of this kind of concerns. Meaning of existence, meaning of life, purpose in our being here. Who is putting us here? Who brought us here? Who is taking out of this world and in a ruthless way, killing us, although we are given life freely. And we found ourselves in this world. Everything is taken care of. Everything is provided as I really exactly I need. Exactly I need. Then it must be for a purpose. And I am growing gradually, and then becoming a young, energetic man. But he was in his 40 years old, years of the year of hell age. It was really a very strong man, most probably. He didn't suffer any from disabilities. Thank God. So he said, I'm going to now go down, deteriorate, age. People didn't used to live long during the Prophet's time in Mecca. The historians, yes, it is an interesting point, and we have to be very thankful to Allah. The historians say, because they studied the life of companions, with some exceptions, majority of the people's average age was 35. Average age. Most of the people used to die when they were child or baby. Because of health reasons, because of malnourishment, undernourishment, whatever the reason, God's wisdom is. Nowadays, people take care of themselves, that they're all fat nowadays because of this intercontinental transportations of the food and needs, and more than we need. So we are suffering from overweight, if not obesity. Then they say, really, almost 20% of American population are suffering from obesity. Somehow, extreme or middle level of obesity. These are the statistics. I don't know. That's what we hear from here and there. So the situation changed. But although God's order doesn't change, but if you take care of your health, I said, okay, this is your prayer. I will answer your prayer and extend your life. That's normal. But at the end, death is inevitable, for sure, guaranteed. So thank God we are going to die and get rid of this world. And God willing, inshallah, paradise. Inshallah. Thank God. That's very exciting news. Inshallah. Now, he must be concerned with many questions and suffering from lack of their answer, because there's no answer. And the answer comes. Your heart, your mind, your concern is so white plate with no black dot. Black dot. I can write everything on it. I'm now trying to read God's wisdom, although it is a daring thing. But from my perspective, if the paper is completely white, you write everything and nothing will be distorted. For example, lots of scribbles here and there, dots here and there, and write something. So, your writing may not be as clear and maybe mixed up with other stuff, with the dirt there. But I feel that the heart, the mind, the intellect of the prophets must be so wide. So God will write his revelation on it, and there will be no confusion, no distraction, and the person will keep it as pure as he receives from God. Right? So now the answer comes. If you want to get to know me, so that I will let you know who I am, why I created the universe. Now, inner strength, ulul aidi, means pureness. It's a blank page, full of questions, but no answer, waiting for the answer to be written. The power before God of human beings. Look, we have to understand this. It is really essential to understand for us the power that we have before God to receive his help is to have a clean, white sheet of spirit, undistorted, well, indistorted, whatever, I think undistorted, not polluted heart, full of expectations, but no answer, no pride, no claim. I know why I am here. I know what to do. No, I know nothing. I have just a blank, white tabula rasa. It is called, I don't know, it is French or Latin, I don't know. Tabula rasa, they say it. So perfect. What does it mean for me and for you, inshallah? What we have to do. Let me see. Oh, all right. Let me see again. Okay. I was looking for something. All right. It means if you have anything belonging to you, I know, I can do, yeah, I can choose. That's my free life. Any claim that is a thought in your tabula rasa. It means pure mind, pure intellect, pure spirit, pure heart. A thought, a claim. I see the power of a created being is to admit, to declare that we have nothing we all know. But we are 100%, with no exception, needy, powerless, poor people, created beings. Everything I have is from God. Do I have anything? Nothing. Can we do that? I dare to do that. No, I have miracle. No, I know this. Come on, you are not going to tell me something. Are you going to interfere into my free life? Don't come into my house without my permission. This is my house. Full of claims. I don't like this. Why? It's a matter of taste, man. Claim upon claim upon claim. And also, oh, I know how it works. I learned it. That's my knowledge. That's my qualification. I am professional in such and such matter. Okay, good. Good for you. Go ahead. I don't think in my worldly relationship that I'm offering you here, you have to behave towards the people around you. No. Between you and your creator, you are 100% needy in our relationship, and my creator has, with no exception at all, 100% right of ownership, everything. That is the relationship between, I feel like to use the Quranic word now, abd and ma'bud. This relationship is a pure ibadah, worship, pure worship. That is why they are pure. They have vision. Vision means see the future, see their reality, what they are. Beautiful, beautiful. But I'm not a prophet. I'm not preparing myself to become a candidate for a prophethood or messengership. No. I want to get to know my realities under the guidance of the Quran, God's guidance. Why God mentions the names, doesn't matter. I don't know who they are, who Abraham is, Ishaq is, Yaqub is. I don't know. But I know they are people. There must be some people like you and me. What was their virtue? They had no claim but need. Admitted that they have lots of concerns, correct? No answer. No perfect answer. No claim over anything that they have something at least. Come on, man. At least you know that I exist. Yeah, you don't exist by yourself. You are given existence. You don't own existence. You are given. It means I'm nothing. But I am nothing if I concern my existence within myself. I am nothing. It doesn't mean I don't exist. No, I have nothing, but I am given a lot, everything. Look at this perfect combination. Beautiful contradiction. I have nothing. I have been given everything what I want, what I need. From my perspective, I am absolutely poor. From the giver's perspective, I'm absolutely the richest. That is what the foundations of the relationship between God and his creatures, especially conscious creatures, human beings. That is, I understand, the main reason for prophets to be chosen as prophets, because God is going to write his message on their heart, on their mind, on their spirit, whatever, and they will use it as they received it from God without any distortion, without any dirt, without any twist and crack and crookedness in it. That is what we are in need of as our guide in this world. These are the prophets. So verily we purified them with a perfect purification. Now, I'm not going to the second section of the verse 46, because it is something completely, different matter, must be dealt with completely different context. So let's concentrate on verse 46. And
can I ask a question on 45? Is that like ulul albab, like ulul adi?
ulul adi?
The like the ulul al adi.
The owned with inner strength, okay?
Yeah. So like, for example, we study ulul albab also, right? Some other prophets.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Not the same word, ulul albab. But you can compare it. Thank you for you are here, okay? For your comment and question. You know, al-absar, ulul absar, inner strength and vision, that's really vision. I said it is al-absar, really inside. Now, this word reminds me ulul albab, as you said. All right? Now, because ulul albab means also the one who has an inner insight. It means penetrates into the truth as it is without any confusion. Ulul albab gets the lub, means the core of the things, and crack of the thing. Lub. Yep. The most purified form of the thing, whatever it is, lub. So albab is the plural of lub, the word lub. So it is like ulul absar. It means the man of vision. It means sees the truth as it is, 100%, as it is, with no distortion. So did I say something useful and somehow helpful for you? Or did you mean completely something else that I misunderstood?
Well, it sounds similar. No, that's the thing. So albab and absar is like similar kind of, all the different words, but the connotation and the meaning is like, for example, you described absar as like something pure and
insight.
Not insight, and then seeing the reality as if I don't own anything, clean slate.
Correct.
But albab, from what I had understood, was more of getting to the understanding, deep understanding the reality of something when I observe it, without any distortion as well. So they're kind of related, right, in a way.
Yeah. Excuse me. Just give me 10 seconds. Justin, please, Justin. Just a second, please. It is something. Okay. All right. Now we agreed on, I think. Shall we move to perfect, purified with them and perfect with a perfect purification? Are you satisfied with it?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. All right, let's move that. Now, purification means still we are makhluk, still we are created with weaknesses, with haste, etc. It means we are not perfect to control our feelings. So the prophets must be under God's, if you like, observation. إِنَّكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. It's a beautiful verse in the Quran. Let me remember the verse now. Whisper no. I think whisper بحكم ربك فإنك بأعيننا وسبحه حين تقوم. Whenever you stand up, make tasbih of him, it means every perfection belongs to him, and glorify him. He is free from all sorts of defects, shortcomings, because you are in front of your eyes, that we are observing you, taking care of you. If anything that your human side deviates, we will correct it. Don't worry about it. Whisper بحكم ربك. At the beginning is, whatever Allah decides, be patient with it. Don't worry about it. Whatever happens to you, you are always under our observation. Yep. Okay, forget about it. Under our observation. Okay. It means, some people say that at the end of the day, the prophets are human beings as well. We human beings are fallible beings, but you're correct, you and me, yes. Even now, let's talk about before the prophethood. Muhammad ibn Abdullah also was a human being, and he wasn't a perfect man created. So who can claim perfection for himself or herself? So, but after appointed to be a prophet and the guide for human beings, of course, they will guide human beings in the name of Allah. Can you imagine Allah will appoint somebody who will guide people as God wants them to be? When this guy, someone messes up with the mission. And I don't know where he made a mistake, so that I will say, I don't know, maybe this action or this word is this mistake. I don't know. This is an interesting point. Even a prophet makes a mistake in conveying the one mistake, one alone, one. Conveying God's message, then we have every right to be suspicious about this mistake in every of his sayings, in every of his actions, and every of his narrations, conveyance, the message from God to us. We don't know which one is wrong. There is one more wrong, but which one is it? I don't know. So the prophets must be purified with a perfect purification. Otherwise, God will have a defect in not finding a vicegerent to represent his message, to his being, to his creatures, human beings, as a guide in his name, but this man is not really doing the mission perfectly. It means, I mean, I'm using a very loose language. He is not a best manager. Why? He doesn't know how to appoint a person who is responsible to take care of the job. God, the creator of the universe, do you see any crack in his creation? Do you see any shortcomings in his creation? Whatever we don't like, even perfectly created within an order, perfectly functioning. So if God really absolutely perfect, he will choose with his perfection the perfect candidate to convey the message, represent the message to his human beings, created human beings, created by him. So he has to purify, because human weakness is inevitable. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. So we understand that whatever the prophet has said, whatever the prophet has performed must be perfect, beyond doubt. Why? By definition. Definition of what? Definition of being the owner, creator, Lord, administrator, manager of this universe, together with me and you, human beings. It must be perfect, because creator is perfect. That's why the Qur'an says, فَإِنَّكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. Well, we are doing this. So what is left to you? وَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ. No, وَسَبِّحُ, the verse is there. وَسَبِّحُ حِينَ تَقُومُ. Whatever you stand up to do something, to say something, to represent something, first, keep remembering God is perfect, so you have to do your mission perfectly. So we are taking care of you so that you will perform a perfect message barrier, Rasulullah, the messenger of God. So, but if we see that the hadith narrations are, or the historians, or something says something, it doesn't make sense. Some historians or Sirah book authors say something that didn't make sense to me, or I read something in the Quran, etc. We have to know that it may be a narrator's shortcomings, narrator's limitness of understanding, looking at the matter from one perspective, his own concern. It is inevitable. Narrators are honest people, but honesty is not enough. They may be loose in their remembrance. They may see the things only from one perspective, not to another perspective. And then you need the explanation from another perspective, different from the expectations of the narrations. There may be a problem there, but the problem should not be extended to the prophet. By definition, cannot be. Definition of not the prophethood, definition of God. God is impossible to imagine that employing somebody but not doing the work, not doing the mission as it perfectly should be done. Impossible to imagine. It contradicts the definition of being God. So we have to make sure that we may have some suspicions about the narrator's position. We call it in our discussion, if you remember long ago, we mentioned all this, so what's going on here? All right, okay, that we have to take notice of the the filter of narrators, because when you look at a case, what do? You look at the case from your perspective, your expectations. You are not 100% perfect, and also you don't see the perspective which is not within your concern. So the narrators may and likely to make mistakes, or not on purpose. There must be honest, because God's the prophets, God's messengers educated these people. They have so loyal that they are ready to die for him. There is no way to expect any of the prophets, really close companions, to make a deliberate mistake. But human shortcomings must be considered. Otherwise, we have to trust, for example, the Qur'an, which is not really something within the scope of doubt or suspicion. But hadith narrations may have some problems. This is quite normal. And we have to also take into consideration that our expectations from the prophet may be polluted under the influence of the civilization that we are educated in, being trained in. Okay. How about the second section? I hope, we have to stop in New York. We have to pray. At 8 o'clock, we have to stop. We have 7 minutes. But the second, I should summarize it and not get into detail. Through the remembrance of the life to come. Zikratar. What does it mean? As I said, grammatically, we have to see that because of the situation, that what the mission they are performing is related to my life, not only in this world, but in my eternal life. So if they make a smallest mistake now, this smallest mistake costs me eternal deprivation of God's grace. So, for example, whatever the number is, doesn't matter. When it is multiplied by infinity, what is the result? What is the equation? Any number, 1, 2, 3, 0.1 multiplied by infinite equals to
infinite.
Infinite. Wow. You know the mathematics well. Mashallah. Okay, good. To respond, I love it. Communicating, alive, hearing different voices. Please go ahead, everybody, not only you, every one of you. So infinite. Obvious, isn't it? So the smallest amount of crookedness in the message results in my and your life infinite. It means in my paradise, inshallah paradise, not talk about then, here now. So paradise, I will lose this speed eternally, infinitely. So bearing in mind that it's a jumlatul haliyah, dhikra dar, but not every translators take it in this way, but I feel it necessary. It should be understood in this way. So this through, I don't agree with through. So bearing in mind that the mission they are performing is something directly related to my eternal life. So there will be no ambiguity in the message. There will be no crookedness in the message. There will be no crack in the message at all, as there is no crack in the creation of God, the universe. So it must be as perfect as the universe is now in its creation, as this temporary perfect. The creation, universe is temporary, but although it is temporary, but its existence is perfect. No crack in it. We got it. We have 4 minutes. What I am passing. Please keep in mind that we are under the guidance of which kind of God's guidance, or guidance of the prophet, which kind of prophet they are. They are not you can meet now in this sense. They are purified. But from the beginning, they had nothing other than concerns, problems, questions, needs, poverty. So perfect, it's a created being, it's a perfect quality. So come to the last verse in the slide. And in our sight, they are truly among the chosen and the best. What does it mean? Mustafain, yeah, Mustafain al-Akhyar. So they are min al-Mustafain al-Akhyar. So what does it mean? Now they are chosen, Mustafa. Now, it's a interesting word, actually. Mustafa, one of the names of the prophet is Mustafa. And Akhyar, the chosen one, the best one. So please, God says, hey, the addressee, the reader of my message, be careful. Be careful. What you are receiving here is conveyed to you through the best chosen people. I have chosen them, not the people have elected them. Yeah, the people may make mistakes. It's okay. As we people, we are not expected to be perfect anyways. But look, watch out. I have chosen them. If you trust the creator of the universe, if you trust your creator, then you should trust my choice. As you are comfortable in this world because of my creation, because of perfection of my creation, you are comfortable in this world, but you may have some means of training, education, so that the treating me. For example, a professor gives a test, and let's say multiple choice test. He says, this is the equation, or this is the answer, or this statement. So what is wrong with this statement? And gives the options, option A, B, C, D, E. One of them is correct, 4 of them are not correct. Do you think the professor is confusing, or teaching me how to be very careful, fine-tuned in getting the right answer, not confusing it with closer ones, not absolutely correct or really correct 100%, but seems to be close to be correct. So we have to be very fine and think about, not this one, not this one. This is the right answer. Do you think it is the fault of the professor that he didn't know what the right answer is? Or is he teaching you? Is he teaching you how to be precise, to know the right answer, 100% correct answer, not 85% correct answer, not 95% correct answer, 100% correct answers. That is what we are being trained here. That is what we are being educated here, so that we will have sometimes confusions, something that we don't like. And what is that? To make a correct understanding of who I am, who my creator is. I am 100% needy. My creator is 100% provider of everything I need. That is why they are chosen by God, because عندنا لمن المصطفين من الأخيار. We have chosen it. You have to trust them. Do you understand? Inshallah, it's a perfect message for us in order to establish our faith in the prophets being a perfect chosen people by God. Their manager is God. Don't forget, not the CEO of the most famous company. No. God, the creator, the CEO of the universe, if you like. Alhamdulillah. I love this kind of understanding of the verses of the Quran. That's amazing, satisfying, and my heart is very comfortable. Inshallah, your heart is as well. I'm sure that's why you come here. Otherwise, if you don't appreciate the value of this class, you wouldn't come. And I would say, okay, if you like, don't come. That's up to you. Because if you appreciated it, you become addicted to it like me. I am addicted to this kind of understanding of the verse. I have to stop. The time is getting really very tight for Maghrib prayer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Tomorrow, next Sunday, Monday again, we will have 7 and 8 end at 8, inshallah. Now, 8:03. We are human beings. Okay, deviation, a little bit. Okay, human beings, human deviation. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. Innaka anta al-alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum in alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bihurmati sirr surat al-Fatiha. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. See you on Wednesday.